What's going on, AWGFAM? Welcome back to the channel. So today, I have some Mike the Cop. Now this isn't Angry Cops, this is Mike the Cop. See, I'm not like Brandon Herrera, you know. I can actually tell the difference between the two. Love you, man. I'm just fucking with you, Brandon. They're really not that difficult to mix up. They're not. They look pretty fucking similar. But I tell you right now, you go ahead and say that shit to Angry Cops and you see how he takes that shit. He don't take that shit lightly. But today we got, Dear Officer, we need you. And I saw like a little clip of this and it looks like this is gonna be pretty fucking emotional. Because I already know that this is geared towards everything that's been going on. Look, we need our police officers. You don't think that? Get the fuck out of my channel. I don't believe we need to be involved in the drug war, but I believe we need police officers. Get rid of the drug war and bring them motherfuckers onto the police force. We need policing. We need people, you know, who run stop. People can't even stop for a fucking stop sign. And you're telling me we don't need police. You fucks can't even stop for stop signs. So, yeah, we need more fucking police. I'm sick of you motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about the fucking rules anymore. And there's a lot of y'all out there. And you're gonna be like, oh, but McCoy, I stopped for everything. No. Look, I'm not even Mr. fucking Perfect on the road. I need police out there to police my motherfucking ass up sometimes, too. And I'll fucking say it. I'm not fucking perfect. And there are times where I deserve to be ticketed for the way that I fucking drive. I'm not fucking perfect. I'm a human fucking being. But guess what? 9 times out of 10, my driving's on fucking point. But most of you fucks out there now, 1 times out of fucking 10 you drive right. The other 9 times you're fucked up. So yeah, we need more fucking police. And I don't fucking care how it makes you feel when I say that. We need more police. People just can't seem to do the right fucking thing. Integrity has been lost. Well, there's no cops, so I'm not going to stop for this stop sign. Well, what happens when there's a kid? Hell, what happens when there's a mom and a fucking child walking across the street? Like I fucking watched almost happen. I almost watched a fucking Jeep Grand Cherokee take out a mother and her fucking child trying to cross the road because he didn't want to wait for a fucking red light. Yeah, I'm fucking done with that shit. But I'm fucking ranting. Let me get into this shit.
Dear Officer, we are the majority who have been silent too long, and we're here to tell you that we need you. The majority of citizens in your community know they would break under the mental and emotional stress that you have to process every day. But we are grateful that you're willing to bear it. You run from call to call, shift to shift, day after day dealing with some of the worst things this world can throw at you. When you wonder on many of those days whether the job is worth it or if this life is worth it, please remember that we need you. The salary you earn will never be enough to compensate you for the dangers you face, the scorn you endure from the public, and the harassment and ridicule you're forced to tolerate. The benefits that will be paid to your family should, God forbid, you must lay down your life in the performance of your duties will be minuscule compared to the value of your life and the contribution you make to your community. We hate that we expect you to make that sacrifice if necessary, but still, we need you. The police need more training, and defund the police are the contradictory cries we hear from, let's face it, fringe elements of our society whose end objective is to discredit and systematically dismantle the one institution that has the ability to maintain order and to seek justice for those whose rights have been violated.
And pause it there. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this video. The one that's on right now. That video broke my fucking heart. Because of where we are now in our society, with everybody wanting it to be politically correct in a system that doesn't give a fuck about being politically correct. The video that's on now is the prime example of what fucking happens when you want to be politically correct to a society of people who don't give a fuck about your political correctness. That man asked that officer asked that man to take his hand out of his hoodie more times than he should have. Look, you get 2 times with me. 2 times. Number 3, there ain't gonna be asking, I'm telling you. You don't listen, well, guess what? From there, it's use of force. I'm using force. You don't want to comply. Guess what? I ain't waiting for you to comply. And these officers shouldn't have to wait either. If you don't fucking comply by the 3rd fucking command, whatever happens from then on, happens. There is no political correctness in that. You were asked twice as a fucking adult to do something that an adult should be able to do, which is fucking respond, listen, and follow fucking commands. But you're showing that you can't do that. So what's politically correct about that? What's politically correct about not following what you're being told to do? There's nothing politically correct about that. So why is it that a police officer has to be politically correct in his fucking job when you're not even following what you're being fucking told to do? It ain't that hard to fucking comply and then have your day in fucking court. As I had said multiple times, if you are just in not following what the officer was telling you, or you are just in fucking what they're doing to you is not right, it will play out in the court. But as soon as you take things into your own fucking hands, you've just taken it out of the court's hands. When it comes to police, there is no street justice. There isn't. And if you think that handling police officers with street justice is gonna fix your other problems, you're wrong. You will only incite more police to show up. Y'all have got to get it into your heads that a gun is not the answer. It's not. I understand street justice in some situations. I do. There are certain situations where I say, well, street justice is going to play out. And like I keep saying with the ATF and all that other shit, or not ATF, but DEA. Look, you remove that, they're going to remove 90% of the fucking problems right now. Yeah, they're still going to kill each other over their drugs. That's inevitable. Whether we have the DEA or not, they're going to kill each other over drugs. But it's not going to be at what we see it at right now. I want us to get to a point where it's not hatred for the police and it's hatred for the fucking criminal again. What happened to that? Right now we have a lot of motherfuckers who get away with doing shit that I'm not allowed to do. And 99% of America isn't allowed to do. But they're allowed to do it. What's fucking justified in that? There is no justice in that. I'm just saying, you want to see everything change, but you're not bringing anything to the table other than violence. Look, violence will only get you so far. Violence gets rid of a lot of the extremism. But after that point, if you can't sit down at the fucking table and have a conversation, then what was the point of the movement to start with? Right now, there's nobody coming to sit down at the table to talk. And that's where it needs to start. Come to the table to talk. That's when we will see the biggest changes happen in this country. It will be. But until then, ain't shit gonna change. Stop running into the streets and burning shit down. You're not doing anything but hurting yourselves. You ain't changing anything in these states. You ain't changing anything in these cities, other than the fact that you're confirming what most of America is saying right now is we need more police. And like I keep saying, honestly, at this point, it's time to get rid of the DEA. Drug enforcement? No. I think we need to expunge drug enforcement and take those people and spread them throughout our policing. I think that would mitigate a lot of our problems in our own cities. Instead of taking the DEA out there to handle a problem that's going to end up handling itself in the long run. Do I want to see people with addiction go away? No, but at the same time, I can't be the one to constantly be there to save them, and neither can anybody else. So why are we playing this game still? But let me jump back into this. Let me keep this going.
Order and to seek justice for those whose rights have been violated. You would love to have more training, better training, more frequent training, but your department tells you that there is neither time nor money to provide it. You do the best you can do to do what is expected of you in a professional manner, and despite the fact that we have failed you, we need you. We have seen far too many instances in which the proverbial crap has hit the fan, and instead of doing their due diligence to conduct a complete and fair investigation before rendering judgment, your department has not only thrown you under the bus, they have driven it back and forth over you while onlookers have cheered. Even then, the critics are not satisfied. You deserve better. You deserve due process whenever there are allegations that you have violated policy or committed a crime. But even though it seems like you lack the support of your department leaders who seem to have forgotten what it's like to be a cop on the street, we are willing to give you the benefit of the doubt because...
I'm going to stop it right there, too. That scene that was just up there where they were in front of that minivan, I don't know if you guys know about what happened there either. That young lady had been kidnapped by her ex-boyfriend and his girlfriend. And she was chained. She was chained to that minivan floor. How many of you would have gone out after him? That's my question. You want these men and women who are willing to sacrifice everything for the people in this country. But how many of you would have been the ones out there willing to stand in front of that fucking person, saying, you're not going to fucking scare our citizens and you're not going to do this to our citizens? That's my question. You want to hate on all these people who want to better their community. How many of you are actually willing to get out there and better your community? How many of you are willing to stand up in front of the people who are doing wrong and saying, no, you're not going to fucking do this anymore. This is not going to happen in my community anymore. There ain't many of you. And I'll be the first to say it. There aren't many of you. Now, you guys always... There's always people who go, oh yeah, you say, no, I say it and I do it. I've already stood out there. And I've already been a part of movements around the country. But I don't talk about them because it's not shit I'm going to talk about. Because I don't need to give every bit of what I do outside of what I'm doing now. And I can't. I have a family. But I'm going to tell you, I've been part of more than what I've discussed. And I will continue to be a part of more than what I talk about here. There is going to be stuff that I do that I will never talk about on YouTube. Because guess what? I love my family on YouTube. I love what you guys have done for me. But there are certain things I will not put out there for people to know. I won't. There are certain things that I'm a part of that I'm not going to speak about. Because I don't need to jeopardize my family. It's not worth it to me. The movement that I'm a part of is worth it. But it's not worth my family. So there will be things that I am and will continue to be a part of that will not be discussed on my channel. Ever. Because I have a family. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of talk out there, and there ain't much action. Stop talking. Stand up and be a part of it. And that's all I can say about it.
To have forgotten what it's like to be a cop on the street, we are willing to give you the benefit of the doubt because we need you. Yes, you've stopped us for a traffic violation, and if you gave us a ticket, we probably deserved it. But many times you've used your discretion and shown some grace because, after all, you are human as well.
Which I'm a positive. Look, I've had my run-ins with the police. One of my first run-ins with the police, I got a speeding ticket for doing, I think I was doing 90 and a 70 or more, something like that. And I got pulled over, and the officer came up, talked to me, asked me, why are you going so fast? And I told him, I said, honestly, I'm just trying to get home before the range closes because I'm trying to take my brother to go shoot. And I have to get this form signed off, and that's why I was speeding. I know I shouldn't have been. That's on me. Go ahead and write your ticket. And so the officer takes my all my paperwork, goes back to his car, comes back. He pulls out the ticket, and he goes, I saw your military ID, and I want to say thank you for your service. I only got you for 5 over. I don't want to break your bank account, and I also don't want you to have to come back here for court. So, you have a good day, and I hope you take care, and hopefully I'll get to see you sometime, and you make it through your tour, or just make it through your military service. You know, I hope everything goes well for you. And I said thank you, and I took my ticket. The second time, I got put in handcuffs. I was breaking and entering somewhere. I mean, we talked to the police. That all got figured out. I got to go home that night. But, yeah, I'll just tell you real quick. So, it was the night before that I was leaving for Germany, because it was supposed to be my first duty station. Instead, I ended up going to Italy when I got to Germany. If you want to know more about that, go check out my other video, my story. But that night, we're out there, and there was this retirement area in my neighborhood, and we used to go over there and do stupid shit when we were younger, and, well, we weren't young like we were then, and we were all adults, so we knew we couldn't fuck off like we did when we were younger. But so we're at this pool. We jumped the fence to get in there, and we're just sitting there, and we're drinking beers, and we're talking and bullshitting back and forth. And I remember a couple guys left, and I remember sitting there right across from this guy, and we're drinking, and I remember sitting there drinking, and I seen the silver glint out of the corner of my eye, and I went, all right, man, there's a cop here now. And he goes, are you serious? I said, yeah. He's at the fence right now. He's about to call for us. And sure enough, about second and a half later, hey! Hey! Yes, officer. Get over here. Yes, sir. Walk over to the gate. He goes, how'd you get over this gate? I was like, I hopped it. He goes, show me. So I hopped the gate, and immediately I get slammed into this fucking gate. Do you have any weapons on you? Yes, sir, I have a knife. I have a knife. It's in my right pocket. I'm just going to keep my hands up. As soon as he slammed me, too, hands went up. Because I knew I had a weapon. And he, what do you have? I have a knife in my right pocket. He pulls a knife. He goes, all right, put your hands behind your back. Yes, sir. Put my hands behind my back. Got the cuffs put on. And pulled my friend out. Did the same thing. We're sitting there. And the officer comes up. Other officer comes walking around. And he goes, oh, man. Big fucking dude. He goes, oh, man. I was hoping one of y'all would run. I was waiting over there to football tackle one of y'all. And I was like, oh, no, sir. I can't run. I was like, I can't run. I'm currently in the United States Army, and I'm probably going to be deployed to Afghanistan here shortly. And we started talking back and forth. And they ended up making us get our beer and pour it all out. And asked me where I lived. Told them I lived right down the street. And they ended up cutting us loose and letting us go. Giving me my knife back and just saying, I hope everything goes well for you in your career in the military. And don't do dumb shit anymore. Which I didn't. Well, I did end up getting a speeding ticket. Another speeding ticket. So, and that was 3 days after I got my first speeding ticket. Which, the second time, that really was not my fault. And I swear on everything. I swear on everything the second one wasn't my fault. But, I still took it on the fucking chin. I couldn't see the speed change sign. The speed change sign was covered by a fucking tree. Didn't realize this until 6 months after the fact when I was driving through there. And sure enough, guess what? I passed through the same spot where I told him I didn't see a speed change sign. He said, oh, well, you were speeding. And I was like, oh, I don't doubt it. I felt like I was going too fast because I blew into this city. And I remember blowing into this city going, wow, I feel like I'm going way too fast. So I had let off the gas. And sure enough, as soon as I let off the gas and I just start coasting, the lights came on. And I went, yep, that's for me. And I just pulled over and pulled up behind me. You knew it was you? Honestly, sir, I felt like I was going too fast. I really did. And yet again, I had another officer who helped me out. I should have had another court date. And he let me go without having to go to court. So, I've had pretty damn good interactions with the police. I wasn't disrespectful. I didn't act an ass. And I walked away from my situations. If I had been disrespectful, none of those situations would have gone like that. At all. That would have been quite the opposite. So it's not that fucking hard. It's really not. Do the right fucking thing. The police ain't out there to hurt you. They're out there to help you. They're the ones that you call to show up. Can't hate them. They're not all bad. 90% of them are good. And all they want is to help.
Discretion and shown some grace because after all, you are human as well. You have found our lost dog. You have taken time to drive down our street to take part in a birthday parade. You have shown compassion when our loved ones have passed away. You've laughed with us, cried with us, because like us, you are human. You are not the monster that sometimes shows up in someone's 6-second cell phone video. You are the community member, spouse, parent, child or sibling that wants the same things the rest of your community wants. You want good schools, safe streets, clean parks, and decency in your dealings with your fellow community members. You show up and you perform faithfully with integrity, which is exactly why we need you.
Man, we do. We need them. We need them all. I'm sorry. We need more. We don't have enough. There aren't enough police officers out there, and they don't get paid enough. Not for the job that they do. If you have to go to work every day, and most of the time you're going to work and it's horror stories, think about how you would feel in your life. Think about it. Think about dealing with people who don't care about the rules all the time. Would that not take a toll on you when you live your life by the values of those rules? Sure as fuck takes a toll on me, and I don't have to live as stringently on those rules like they do. I mean, sure, I should, and so should everybody. But we're not held to the same standard that they are. We're not. So how is it that we are going to be the ones to tell them how to do their job? I don't like it when somebody tells me how to do my fucking job. How are you going to tell somebody else how to do their job when you don't do it on a daily basis? Just saying. Put yourself in that person's shoes before you judge. And if you sit there and say, I'd have done it differently, well, then you haven't been in a scenario like that before, have you? Because there's a lot of situations where I look at them and I go, that's pretty much how I would have handled it. I think they did the right thing. It's few and far between that I look at a situation that a police officer is involved in and I go, he shouldn't have done that. There aren't very many occasions where that happens. For the most part, police officers conduct themselves extremely well. I'm not sitting here saying every instance they do. Nobody's perfect. But the majority do a good goddamn job. And I'm tired of seeing them accosted for what they do. They're there to protect. They're there to ensure peace. If you're going to sit there and try and take that away, you're damn right they're going to stand in your way. That's what they signed up to do. Hell, that's what I signed up to do. And that oath ain't been fulfilled. I just can't live with my hands tied behind my back while jumping on one leg again and told, go do your job. I experienced that one time for a year. I couldn't imagine doing it my entire life. Not like these police officers. I don't know how some of these guys have made a career out of that job with their hands being tied as insanely as they are. Those fuckers are hogtied now and told to do their fucking job. And I feel awful for them. But that's the video for tonight. So as usual, guys, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Make sure you're checking back regularly, because I do post every night. So, I love my AWGFAM and my XMCFAM. I'm out.